Santa is pumped because he and his reindeer made it to the last town in England, but things quickly take a turn. It's a mess with a ton of problems to fix, and only Santa with his big beard and red suit can handle it. Santa talks about how tough the night is, mentioning that the trouble started with the school Christmas play. He talks about the new kid, Danny, who's trying to keep a low profile, except around Sam, his crush. Then there is Bernadette, the wild director of the show, who's dealing with a lot of drama. The kids, Sam and Charlie, both perform in the play. Later, Bernadette finds out that the parents hated the jokes, the story, and the whole play. Santa describes Wellington-on-Sea as a quirky little town he loves, full of Christmas cheer and led by Lighthouse Bill. It's a town of bikes, sketchy drivers, and tons of Christmas traditions. Sam's got her eyes on a shiny guitar and is hoping Santa will bring it. Charlie, in typical fashion, hangs a note that says, "Santa, give me all else." Sam warns her that blackmailing Santa won't work and threatens no presents if Charlie keeps it up. The next day, the school's closed because of the snow, and the kids are stoked. Danny heads to school thinking it's still on, but finds out it's actually a snow day. However, Mrs. Trapper catches him and insists he stay to catch up on schoolwork. Sam sees as Charlie is watching her neighbor abuse her dog. So Charlie sets up a trap that buries the woman under snow. Meanwhile, Mrs. Trapper teaches Danny about physics using snowballs, and Danny builds a snowman with her, which she encourages him to give a wife. The two work together to build an igloo, and then she lets him go home early. On Christmas Eve, the storm starts clearing up, and the parents head out for the wedding, leaving Bernadette in charge. They get about halfway there before realizing the storm is getting worse, and the news says the big blizzard is heading south. Mrs. Beckles, who is Sam and Charlie's mom, finds out that the snow has cut off the town, and the butcher didn't get his Christmas delivery. No turkey means no Christmas dinner, so she and the girls head out to buy some. Charlie, however, decides to free the turkeys after hearing from Sam that the butcher mistreats them, causing a whole mess as the customers try and fail to catch the birds. Sam's not happy with Charlie's move, saying it ruins Christmas, but Charlie doesn't care, claiming it made the turkey's day. Sam's frustrated because it messes everything up for her too, especially with Santa possibly skipping her. Later, Sam and Danny run into each other on the street. They chat, but Danny gets nervous. He tells her he's buying his dad's favorite candy, wine gums, and she offers to let him warm up at her place, but he declines, not wanting to miss his dad's arrival. After he walks away, he regrets it. Charlie, watching from the window, draws a heart on the glass to show that Sam might have feelings for Danny. Meanwhile, the parents are having a blast at the wedding but get stuck in the blizzard. They head out over a bridge, but they almost hit the turkeys Charlie had set free earlier. Swerving to avoid them, they lose control, and the car ends up hanging off the edge of the bridge. They call the kids to let them know they're okay, but urge them to stay together in the barn and not go outside until they get back. Deciding it's safest to stay in the van, the parents are bummed they'll miss Santa and the stockings. Meanwhile, Danny's dad calls with bad news. He is stuck because all the roads are blocked and says he'll try to make it for New Year's. Danny's crushed. Danny's mom comes home from work and comforts him, saying at least they have each other and can still make it a great day. Danny sadly admits that if he had to pick between Santa and his dad, he'd choose his dad. The scene shifts back to Santa, who's flying through the storm with Dasher, his reindeer. Dasher warns about the blizzard, but Santa brushes it off. Things get dicey, but they manage to make it home. Then Santa gets an alert about a town in trouble and jumps into action. His first stop is Danny, who's feeling sad and lonely, so Santa leaves him a present. Next, he addresses the 5 kids stuck in the barn without their parents, making sure they'll get what's on their Christmas lists. Then it's on to the twins, where Charlie's mischievous behavior stands out. Her report card reads, refused to tidy her room, shaved the dog to make a beard, and released all the farmer's turkeys. Santa admits that he rarely leaves anyone with an empty stocking and still gives Charlie a gift. In the middle of the night, Charlie wakes up to find Sam didn't get a present, assuming Santa mixed them up. She puts her gift and the guitar Santa left for her on Sam's bed. Santa gets an alert and realizes Charlie isn't so naughty after all. This is a code red moment for him. On Christmas morning, Sam is thrilled with her gifts, not knowing Charlie gave them to her. Charlie assumes she didn't get anything, but Sam points out Santa left her something after all. The twins rush to tell their parents that Charlie got a full stocking. Danny finds his presents and a note from Santa telling him to look outside. He does and is blown away by what he sees. Meanwhile, Bernie tells the barn kids to check their stockings. It turns out Santa came for them too. Danny's mom has to leave for work again, leaving him alone on Christmas. She promises to find someone to look after him. Bernie keeps the barn kids entertained with games, snacks, and laughs, while the parents are still stuck freezing in their van. The parents exchange gifts, but when they try to call the kids, no one answers. With everyone snowed in, they call Mrs. Trapper for help. Danny notices Mrs. Trapper spending Christmas alone and decides to visit her despite being a little nervous. He offers her some company and sort of cake, since they're both spending the day alone. She declines, but gently points out that things are probably hardest for his mom right now. Back at the barn, the kids are playing hide and seek when Evie sneaks outside unnoticed. Danny's mom comes home to find the house beautifully decorated with lights, spelling out "Mom, my hero" on the igloo he built with Mrs. Trapper's help. Mrs. Trapper encourages Danny to enjoy Christmas with his mom, leaving him with a promise to join them next year. She goes home, looks at a picture of the man she loved, and gets emotional. The parents are finally rescued and rush home, only to find Evie missing. Everyone in town bands together to search for her. Mrs. Trapper leads the effort, even pulling Danny and his bike into the mission. Sam and Danny convince Bill to use the lighthouse, and it works. They find Evie safe in a beach hut, surrounded by the turkeys. The parents are overjoyed and everyone's relieved. Bernie feels reassured that she gave the kids an amazing Christmas. Her mom praises her, and she gives Danny credit for coming up with the lighthouse idea. She even announces to everyone that Danny is the best person in Wellington-on-Sea. Danny finally works up the courage to ask Sam if they could hang out sometime, maybe over wine gums, and she says yes. Santa wraps things up by reflecting on the true meaning of Christmas. It's not about the gifts or even Santa, it's about being with the people you love in a place you call home. Wellington-on-Sea isn't just any town, it's a special community. The story ends with Danny and Sam diving into the freezing sea together, joined by more townsfolk. Danny's mom thanks Mrs. Trapper for looking out for her son, and even she joins in the swim. As everyone celebrates, Santa bids them all a Merry Christmas and a good night.